U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers visit the flood-devastated regions to conduct assessments for upcoming aid distributions. Thailand is lifting its economic status by investing in the educational program of its children. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shoda. Thank you for joining us. As disaster assessments of the destruction caused by Hurricane Harvey continues in the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers visited Richmond and Rosenberg, which is about half an hour west of Houston, Texas. To help with the Tzu Chi assessment, the mayors of the two cities promised to submit a name list to avoid wasting resources. This is a mobile home park near the highway. When water broke from the nearby river, this region was severely affected. The residents of these parts are mostly those who don't have a stable income or low-income families. Basically, after the flooding, these homes are uninhabitable. Yet without other means, they return to living here. Richmond, which is 30 kilometers southwest of Houston, Texas, flooded last year. And due to its close proximity to the Brazos River, the flooding nightmare happened again this year.
And these little homes here,
Local fire chief especially showed the devastation firsthand to the Tzu Chi volunteers.
Number one, for electrical safety, because when high water hits electrical components, it can energize the home or even the area around it. Second thing is for contaminated water. Even though it's a river water and normally benign, there could be contaminants in it from hazardous materials that it picks up along its way. And the third thing we check for in the residence to make sure it's clear is for animals, because sometimes animals will seek refuge in homes when they're afraid and they're in high water.
In this 30,000 populated town, residents mostly farm or raise livestock for a living. This flood has just about ruined their entire livelihood.
You were here last year when we had a record, and now we have another record a year later. And so most of those people who've lost everything, they had just finished putting their homes back together again, and so now they've lost it again.
Without fanfare, the team holds an open meeting underneath the tree, with the mayor of nearby Rosenberg City joining the relief aid discussion.
In the case of Rosenberg, it's pretty isolated, close to the river. I'm not sure the number of families that have been affected. I'm going to get you all those numbers, but they were several of them.
The two cities' mayors promised to hand over the disaster victims' name list to expedite Tzu Chi's aid distribution in the coming days.
We are just traveling to places that we can go, to places that we can see, and doing what we can. We don't need to aim for far, wide, and extravagant. We don't do superficial surface work. We plant deep seeds of charitable giving in local communities.
For those who can't make it to the Houston area to physically help, love and care can be spread in other ways. In Los Angeles County, California, volunteers are fundraising at supermarkets and other locations to help disaster victims. Children from the Great Love Preschool and kindergartens in Walnut and Monrovia have also initiated charity sales to help.
With a loud voice, these kindergarteners are asking these parents to help flood victims. Besides this action, they want to do even more.
I have Spider-Man's outfit. After the disaster, I can wear my Spider-Man's outfit and help them.
那你要怎么帮助他们？
我修他的房子起来。
After Hurricane Harvey devastated Texas, these children who live in areas that are safe and peaceful feel for the flood victims. Their prayers are also filled with sincere wishes.
Clasp the hands and chant Amitofa. Then Amitofa Buddha will come.
Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters has started canvassing for donations to help flood victims. This Hawaii supermarket has agreed to have volunteers fundraise here for the first time. The manager even leads the volunteers to ask her employees to donate. This family who originally planned a trip also joined the volunteers.
I am here to help the people in Texas.
Our family thought about going out. However, since there is this chance to help people, we've decided to come here on Saturday.
Despite the heat, people of all ages help out with passion and love.
85岁了。可以啊，那没办法啦。
Tzu Chi volunteers in Dallas not only help with disaster relief and visit the shelter, they also canvass for donations on the streets. The owner of the food company is helping out in addition to donating supplies.
I feel even happier than doing business. The amount of donation does not matter. When people give with love on the streets, I feel differently.
Bowing to the donors with gratitude, the volunteers inspire love and compassion in the public. Their support and sincere wishes are what the flood victims need the most.
Thank you so much.
In our continuing series on Tzu Chi's alcohol-free campaign, today we take a look at how difficult it is to change a person's drinking habit. In Fengling Township of Hualien, there is a group of Tzu Chi volunteers accompanying people who struggle with alcohol abuse with love and patience by encouraging them to quit drinking and pursue a healthier future.
你看看这个是谁？
这个是谁？
是谁？
是谁？
喝酒醉，他是孙鹤田。
不是。
Since 2014, Tzu Chi has begun to provide counseling and support to Sun He-tian to help him quit drinking. To help him stay away from alcohol, the volunteers have invited him to come do recycling.
孙鹤田老板，我再倒进去哦嘿。
啊，不要再倒进来。
还有空间呐。
Calling Sun boss, Tzu Chi volunteer Lin Yuehua interacts with Sun with a gentle demeanor.
这个我还是一个人在做。
哎呀，你那么计较啊，老板。
计较嘞。
老板，哎呀，不能计较哎。这一套你带回家好吗？这个你的 size。
When Sun first came to the recycling station, no one dared to go near him due to his body odor. Lin Yuehua had to take him to the bathroom and spray him with water, forcing him to take a bath.
你还骂我不要脸，还记得吗？我跟你说，我做看护，我看过多少人，你还骂我不要脸。因为伊迄个流氓性。
Since he acts like a bully, thinking he wins if he acts tough, it's hard to change his way of thinking. Therefore, it is very difficult to accompany them.
啊，所以要陪伴因吼，真正是非常的艰难啦。孙鹤田，你好。哦，你要不要泡一包，请我吃喝？
When volunteer Lin Huimei and a group of volunteers visit Sun, they often encourage him to drink green tea instead of alcohol.
他又喝了再喝。
He kept drinking although I was by his side trying to help him quit drinking. Then he drank some more. Therefore, I blamed myself and said I needed to cultivate more so he would listen to me.
Despite the setbacks, Lin Huimei and a group of volunteers do their best to meet Sun's daily needs. They even help build his bathroom.
One time we came to visit him and he was squatting there. I saw his butt and I thought to myself, we must build a restroom for him so he can use the toilets.
In addition, the volunteers have brought him many supplies he uses at home.
咖啡，电风扇，还有这个电锅，还有那个热水器。做环保是。
Sun, who lives alone, does not have friends to talk with. Fortunately, these people are by his side.
Although I thought of giving up, I also thought that if I don't help him, who will accompany him? Therefore, despite the difficulties, we still accompany him.
难行能行啊，还是继续陪伴。
晚上我打电话给我了。
They call me in the evenings to remind me not to drink or hang out with my friends who drink heavily. I really want to thank them for cleaning up my home. I need to maintain this environment.
After putting in much effort, the team of volunteers is happy to see the progress of the cases, no matter how small. Their change and improvement give the volunteers the strength to continue walking the Bodhisattva path.
Beginning in 2016, the Thai government began implementing a policy offering free education for 15 years. The rising economy of neighboring China has made it Thailand's largest trade export and import market. For this reason, Chinese language education has been implemented in many junior and elementary schools.
Thailand, amongst Asian countries, is trying to use education to boost its economy.
Could you speak Chinese? A little.
Most are unable to speak Chinese, which is fairly common. But 10 years later, the outcome may be very different. In 2016, Thailand began to implement a 15-year compulsory free education system, allowing many to attend all the way to high school. And in 2008, Chinese language was included in elementary and junior high school curriculum, making it equally as important as English. In the future, many will be able to speak Chinese, English, and Thai, making them trilingual.
你想吃什么？你想吃什么？中国菜还是韩国菜？中国菜还是韩国菜？
Thai students give me the impression that they're very enthusiastic and have great respect for teachers, giving me a different type of teaching experience.
I think she is funny.
好玩，好玩的时候
And I have fun learning Chinese with her.
她学汉语跟她。
Although their Chinese grammar doesn't sound very smooth, they actually have many years of learning as a foundation. Chinese language education has dramatically grown here.
你好，我叫你好，我叫是 B。
黄色哪一个？啊，什么颜色？黄色。
Taiwanese teacher Cho Ting Ting begins with phonetic symbols, teaching these children a solid foundation.
As for the phonetics part, I teach in kindergarten. They also study English, so sometimes they may confuse the two. So I try to teach them in a different way.
Learning Chinese in Thailand is just as important as studying English. Thailand now has the most extensive Chinese language education market outside of Taiwan and China. The kindergarten children have all begun to study Chinese. Look at the camera and say hello.
Thai government is trying to promote education reform to boost the economy towards the status of a developed country. In 2017, education accounted for 20% of the total budget of the Thai central government, whereas in Taiwan, it is only 14%.
They are very focused on promoting Chinese, English, and Thai language education. Don't only think that Thailand has international students to have the ability to speak 3 languages, as even poor students and poor schools teach 3 languages.
Chinese language education, in addition to beginning elementary school, is also listed as an option for admission into Thailand's university foreign language programs. Education in 3 distinct languages of Thai, English, and Chinese is one of the educational goals of Thailand. There are 156 universities in Thailand, of which 77 have Chinese academic departments. In addition to listening comprehension, they also teach writing, though many are studying simplified Chinese characters. The main reason for the interest in the language is that mainland China is Thailand's largest trade partner, potentially leading to the employment of many young people in Thailand.
Chinese people work in Thailand, so I think this is very important.
Before, my mother forced me to learn Chinese because she felt that Chinese is very important, and I would have more opportunities to work if I knew Chinese.
Thailand has a large Chinese language market and naturally requires lots of teachers. China's Confucius Institute began operating in Thailand in 2006 and sends some 500 teachers, while Taiwan sends less than 20 a year.
Chiang Mai University a while ago saw China make an investment of hundreds of millions for a Confucius Institute. They have been very good to us and have allowed us to coexist with them.
However, Taiwan's Chinese teachers enjoy advantages in the fact that they can use phonetic symbols to teach both simplified or traditional characters.
Taiwan teachers have a good foundation to teach students, and the results may be better. We know both simplified and traditional characters. China's teachers only know simplified characters. If you begin with traditional characters when you study, then the simplified characters will be quite easy to learn.
In Thailand, in fact, there are 3 different Taiwan education centers. They naturally can't be compared with the Confucius Institute, but in Asian countries, Taiwan has the most number of programs.
Last year, we had about 60 to 70 classes, with close to about 1,000 people studying our class, featuring traditional Chinese characters.
Taiwan government's support of educational exchange has led it to announce by 2018 some 600 Thai university teachers are expected to come to Taiwan to study for a master or doctorate degree free of charge. However, by the first half of 2017, only 1/40th of this goal has been achieved. Thailand's education development is thought to be the driving force of the economy. In particular, a greater emphasis on the Chinese market will create more opportunities for Taiwan, which has an advantage in Chinese education. However, the Ministry of Education statistics have found that Southeast Asian students prefer to study social science, business, and law in Taiwan. If Taiwan wants to strengthen these advantages, it should further pursue these opportunities amongst the Asian education market.
The Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School, established in 2005, was the first school the Tzu Chi Foundation set up overseas. Its motto is not unlike its counterpart in Taiwan, where moral education filled with humanitarianism is the ultimate goal. In the past 12 years, its enrollment has expanded from mostly refugee children to students from Bangkok seeking a Chinese language education.
In 1990, children from impoverished families in northern Thailand studied under difficult conditions. When the Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School opened in 2005, elementary and junior high students studied under the school motto of charity, compassion, happiness, and giving. The school had lessons in Thai, Chinese, and English, as the ultimate goal of the school is to give refugee children the ability to secure a job in Thailand upon graduation. The diverse education helps build the students' cognitive ability. Theory and actual hands-on learning encourages the students to use what they've learned to develop their skills. For example, this lesson on developing tools to help farmers cut their workload in half.
During the development process, students may come across problems, and that's when teachers will step in to help them think through the problem to come up with a solution.
June is Thailand's month to honor teachers, and students use local traditions to show their respect to teachers, such as presenting handmade floral arrangements.
As teachers, we shouldn't only pass on our book knowledge to the students, but also how to be a better person, so they can become well-respected people in society.
Tzu Chi's humanitarian lessons also include helping out at winter aid distributions or disaster relief. Each month, students also visit a local nursing home to keep the elderly company. Originally from Bangkok, Wo Wan Panthong from the second graduating class of Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School's Junior High Division went on to the Tzu Chi University in Hualien, Taiwan to become a teacher.
I'm very grateful for everyone for helping me realize I have the strength to live life with more meaning. I'll take the love I've gained from Tzu Chi back to northern Thailand and pass it on to my students.
Thailand felt more education was slowly being lost. They established the Center for the Promotion of National Strength on the Moral Ethics and Values in 2004 and arranged for some 6,000 people to visit Tzu Chi.
After our global research, we found that Taiwan's Tzu Chi Foundation has the ability and charitable knowledge, especially towards social welfare, to promote morality and ethics. Organizations such as this have their own procedures, and we can promote that knowledge to our different sectors.
As the students of Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School will one day enter the workforce, the humanitarian lessons they grew up with will be the best soft skills they have to offer Thailand.
Superintendent Zhao Youcheng of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital recently published a book titled Love is the Best Medicine, which documented what he saw after he became a doctor at the Tzu Chi Hospital. After he joined Tzu Chi, he understood a doctor should not just treat an illness, he should also treat the patient's mind as well.
In the past, I often believed I had limited ability, but after I came to Tzu Chi, I found I have the ability to help anyone who needs it.
In 2008, when Zhao Youcheng became the superintendent of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, he changed from being a military doctor with the rank of Major General to the hospital superintendent. And his patients also expanded to include people in the countryside and disaster areas.
When you truly understand its spirit and its meaning, you will arrange and participate mindfully. Actually, each one of us is capable of spreading Dharma to others or setting an example for others to follow.
Zhao Youcheng also feels a doctor's mission is to be the first to arrive and treat every patient as his or her family member.
His home is next to the hospital, and although there are night duty administrators and nurses, if there is any problem, the superintendent will be the first to arrive.
The superintendent has turned every touching story he saw or heard into words and has compiled them into a book.
When you help yourself, it's called Heaven helps those who help themselves. I have discovered many patients and their families are very supportive of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital.
Wonderful memories are the world I see.
Zhao Youcheng has been practicing medicine for years. He believes love is the best medicine and hopes to pass on his experiences to the future generations of doctors so they can continue safeguarding the patient's health.
As the 7th lunar month coincides with a long holiday in Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers of the Johor Bahru branch hosted an Earth Treasury Sutra study session at the local Jingsa Hall. Many residents found the time to join this event and paid the merits of the cultivation to their loved ones. We'll leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.